Students, welcome to the chemistry class number 108. Variation of conductivity, that is specific conductivity, often called as with dilution. With what? Dilution. So that is, we know that specific conductivity is the conductivity produced by the ions present in between two electrodes. That is, if I take two electrodes, you see here. So it is the distance between these is 1 meter. It is 1 meter square. That is 1 meter cube of the solution. Specific conductivity is the conductivity produced in between two electrodes, separated by a distance of 1 meter and area of cross section 1 meter square. So therefore totally, so it is the conductivity produced by 1 meter cube of the solution. 1 meter cube of the solution. That is specific conductivity. It is the conductivity due to 1 meter cube of the solution. So now we have two conductivities, that is specific conductivity as well as molar conductivity. Now let us check what is the effect of or variation of conductivity or specific conductivity with the dilution, you see, with concentration, different concentration. So dilution means addition of water. So that means, you see, when for example, for specific conductivity, when the water is added, you see, for example, when water is added, so then number of ions, that is number of ions per unit volume. You see, as the water added, number of ions per unit volume will be decreases. That means number of ions per unit volume will be that decreases. That means, you see, the ions which are present in between two electrodes will be spread out. That means, you see, ions spread out. So that is around the, that means in between the two electrodes, number of ions will be decreases. The ions will be spread out due to the addition of water. Addition of water means, you see, so that is dilution. As the amount of water is added more and more, so when water is added to this solution, you see, so that is the concentration of the solution will be that is decreases. At the same time, the number of ions, the number of ions in between two electrodes will be decreases. So therefore, because specific conductivity itself is nothing but the number of ions in between two electrodes, that is 1 meter cube of the solution. That means, you see, if the number of ions per unit volume will be decreases, specific conductivity also decreases. The specific conductivity also decreases. Even that is for weak electrolytes. If I take a weak electrolyte, you see, so weak electrolytes. For weak electrolytes, so that means if the water is added, so even water is added, you see, the weak electrolyte solution dissociates, so giving more number of ions. Even though it gives more number of ions, but as the water is added, you see, number of ions present in between two electrodes will be that is decreases. So therefore, specific conductivity will be decreases. Okay. So if I take that is strong electrolyte, even for strong electrolyte, strong electrolyte solutions are nothing but the solutions which contains only ions, not the molecules, of course. So here also, if you put more the water more and more, even for the strong electrolyte solution, the number of ions per unit volume will be decreases. That means the ions will spread out of the that is electrodes. So therefore, it is confirmed that, you see, number of ions per unit volume will be decreases. So therefore, that is conductivity or specific conductivity decreases with dilution, even both for weak electrolytes as well as strong electrolytes. So weak electrolyte solution contains some undissociated molecules, but if you put water molecule, if you put water more and more, the way that is weak electrolyte solution, that is the electrolyte will be decomposed, giving more number of ions. Even though it undergoes that is undissociated molecules will dissociate, giving more number of ions. The ions are not at all that is concentrated in between two that is electrodes. So that means the ions will be spread out. So due to the number of ions per unit volume decreases, the that is the conductivity or specific conductivity will be decreases with dilution, both for weak electrolytes as well as strong electrolytes. So that is the idea of the what happens when there is a specific conductivity, so that is ordered with water. So what is the effect of specific conductivity with dilution? So that means you see, as the that is dilution increases, as the water is ordered more and more, the number of ions per unit volume will be decreases. The ions will spread out of the electrodes. So therefore you see the specific conductivity will be decreases, because specific conductivity itself is nothing but it is the conductivity due to 1 meter cube of the solution. It is the conductivity due to the 1 meter cube of the solution, means it is the conductivity due to the ions present in between two electrodes separated by a distance of 1 meter and the area of cross section 1 meter square. So therefore total is 1 meter cube of the solution. That number of ions per unit volume will be decreases. So therefore the that is your specific conductivity will be decreases, both for weak as well as what strong electrolytes. Okay. Next, coming to the variation of molar conductivity. Next, second one, variation of molar conductivity. Molar conductivity with dilution or concentration. Here also we are going to take two that is conditions. One is weak electrolytes, second one is strong electrolytes. So generally weak electrolytes solutions contains some undissociated molecules. You see. Now that is weak electrolyte solution contains ions as well as some undissociated molecules which are not at all dissociates at all. But for example, if I take weak electrolyte solution first. So if water is added more and more, so what is the definition for that is molar conductivity? So molar conductivity is nothing but the conductivity produced by all the ions present in the solution, containing 1 mole of electrolyte. 1 mole of an electrolyte. So this is the definition for your molar conductivity. So what is the definition for molar conductivity? Molar conductivity is the conductivity produced by all the ions present in the solution containing 1 mole of an electrolyte. That means when 1 mole of an electrolyte is dissociates in water, so the conductivity produced by all the ions itself is called as the molar conductivity. That means you see, it is the conductivity produced by all the ions present in the solution, not in between the two electrodes. That is the meaning, you see. So now you see, it is not necessary to take the distance between two electrodes as 1 meter and the area cross section 1 meter square. It is not necessary. So but we are considering the conductivity produced by all the ions present in the solution inside the electrodes, outside the electrodes also. So therefore molar conductivity is the conductivity conductivity due to 1 mole of an electrolyte. So 1 mole of an electrolyte which is dissolved in water. It is the conductivity produced by all the ions present in the solution which contains 1 mole of an electrolyte. 1 mole of electrolyte. So therefore, now if I take the weak electrolyte, that is the case. First case is weak electrolyte. So in the weak electrolyte solution, it contains ions as well as undissociated molecules. So therefore, as the water is added more and more, the undissociated molecules dissolves. So giving more number of ions. So therefore you see, as the dilution increases, number of ions also increases due to the dissolution of undissociated molecules. So therefore, weak electrolytes, that is during the variation of molar conductivity with weak electrolytes is seems to be increases. That means molar conductivity increases. That is lambda increases with dilution. Okay, lambda means molar conductivity. Lambda increases with dilution. Okay, that is the first case. So second case you see, this is for weak electrolytes. Because in the weak electrolyte solution, as the water is added more and more, so then the undissociated molecules also dissociates more and more, giving more number of ions. So, and here you see, generally this conductivity is mainly depends upon the total number of ions present in the solution and the mobility of ions present in the solution. You see, that means as the water molecules are added more and more, when water is added more and more, then that is just weak electrolyte dissociates more and more, even more number of ions, whose mobility is more, mobility velocity is more. Therefore, that is a weak electrolyte solutions increases the molar conductivity by dilution, by adding water. So that means you see lambda m or molar conductivity increases with dilution for weak electrolytes. Next, second one, lambda m for strong electrolytes. Strong electrolytes. So we know that you see strong electrolyte solution contains only ions but not the molecules. That is strong electrolyte solution contains only ions but not molecules. We know that this concept is known by all of us. That is strong electrolyte solutions contains only ions but not molecules. But remember, strong electrolyte solution also contains. So due to the that is strong electrolyte solution, you see the ions gets paired up. Therefore, ion pairs are formed. It also contains ion pairs. Strong electrolyte solution contains only ions but not molecules. But strong electrolyte solution also contains ion pairs because it is a strong electrolyte solution. The ions get together. So forming ion pairs, you see, that is pairing of ions takes place here, not molecules. So therefore, ion pairs are present in the strong electrolyte solution. But the strong electrolyte solution containing ion pairs is added with more and more water. What happens? So then ion pairs dissociates. Ion pairs will dissociate, giving ions more number of ions. That is more ions. That means ion pairs are present in strong electrolyte solution, but on dilution by adding water, the ion pairs dissociate, giving more number of ions. So that means more number of ions means you see the number of ions increases and the mobility also increases. So therefore, molar conductivity also increases. That means lambda increases with dilution even for strong electrolytes. Even for water, strong electrolytes. That is how you can explain the variation of molar conductivity with respect to strong electrolyte. That means you see weak electrolyte, generally weak electrolyte solution contains some ions as well as some undissociated molecules. But when water is added more and more, the undissociated water molecule, undissociated electrolytes dissociates giving more number of ions, so whose mobility is high. So therefore, the lambda m or molar conductivity increases for dilution, increases with dilution for weak electrolytes. But strong electrolyte solution contains some it contains only ions but not the molecules. But in addition to this, you see strong electrolyte solution essentially contains ion pairs. What is that? Ion pairs. The pairing of ions takes place in strong electrolyte solution. Therefore, these ion pairs will dissociate upon dilution. Dissociates upon dilution, giving the ions more number of ions. So these ions will be increases and the mobility also increases during dilution. Mobility also increases. So therefore, the conductivity also increases. That is lambda increases even for strong electrolytes during dilution. Upon dilution. That is how. That means we come to the conclusion that molar conductivity increases with dilution for weak electrolytes as well as strong electrolytes also for strong electrolytes. Okay. That is how you can explain the variation of molar conductivity with dilution, both for weak electrolytes as well as strong electrolytes. Okay. After this, we will have one more concept to see, that is limiting molar conductivity. What is meant by limiting molar conductivity? You see, limiting molar conductivity. Limiting molar conductivity. So that is lambda not reduced. Limiting molar conductivity. So we know that, you see, we know that lambda m increases with dilution. So it is already known to us that molar conductivity increases with dilution. That means, you see, as the dilution increases more and more, so that means if dilution increases to infinity. At large dilution, let us say, at large dilution, or at infinite dilution. See here, we know that molar conductivity increases with dilution, but at large dilution you are adding more and more infinite dilution. So for example, for 1 spoon of sugar, if you put, that is 100 ml of water, it will dissolve to some extent. If you add another 100 ml, all the sugar dissolves, completely dissolves. If you add more, another 100 ml, that means if you put 1 liter, again 1 liter, so that means it becomes, you see, so very dilute solution of sugar, you see. If you put another 10 liters of that is water, you see, so then that dilution is called the large dilution. At larger dilution or at infinite dilution. Okay, the molar, that is value of lambda becomes constant. It becomes constant. That is limiting value. You will be getting limiting value. Lambda becomes limiting value, constant. That means, you see, molar conductivity increases with the dilution. At larger dilution or at infinite dilution, the value of lambda becomes constant, or it gets limited value. So this limiting value of molar conductivity, see here, limiting value of molar conductivity at infinite dilution is called as the limiting molar conductivity, lambda naught m. That means limiting molar conductivity is nothing but it is the molar conductivity at infinite dilution. You see, molar conductivity is one sentence. You see, molar conductivity at infinite dilution is called limiting molar conductivity. That's all. Limiting molar conductivity. Okay, so this is the definition of your that is limiting molar conductivity, lambda naught m. Lambda m means molar conductivity. Lambda naught m means what? Limiting molar conductivity. So this is not that means 0. That is lambda in the lambda naught m. So this is 0 indicates the concentration of the electrolyte becomes 0. That is 0 indicates the concentration of electrolyte is 0. What is the 0 indicates? The concentration of the electrolyte is equal to 0 itself. That is called the lambda naught m. That means limiting molar conductivity is defined as it is the molar conductivity at infinite dilution. Limiting molar conductivity is nothing but the molar conductivity at infinite dilution is called the limiting molar conductivity. That means, you see, the molar conductivity increases with dilution, as we know. So at larger dilution, at infinite dilution, the lambda m becomes constant. You see, lambda m means molar conductivity value becomes constant. That is called the limiting value of molar conductivity. The limiting value of molar conductivity at infinite dilution or larger dilution is called the limiting molar conductivity. In one word, what is limiting molar conductivity? It is molar conductivity at infinite dilution. Molar conductivity at infinite dilution is called as the limiting molar conductivity, indicated by lambda naught m, where 0 indicates the concentration of the electrolyte is taken to be 0. Okay, and then there is a relationship between lambda m, lambda naught m and concentration C. See here, what is the relationship between lambda m, molar conductivity, lambda naught m, limiting molar conductivity, and the concentration C of the electrolyte? So it is given by the equation, you see, lambda m is equal to lambda naught m minus A into root C. That is lambda m is equal to lambda naught m minus a into root c, or lambda m is equal to lambda naught m minus a into c to the power of half u c. You can write like that also. Where this is the molar conductivity, limiting molar conductivity, c concentration of the electrolyte, and a is nothing but it is a constant for a given solvent. You see, it is a constant for a given electrolyte. That means that is a is a constant. A is a constant for a given solvent. Also, it depends upon the type of electrolyte we are going to take. You see, type of electrolyte we are going to take for dilution. You see, and it also depends upon the charges present in the cations and anions in the electrolyte. For example, if we take that is NaCl, it is seems to be only one type electrolyte. You see, Na plus Cl minus. And if we take BaCl2, it is taken to be that is 2:1 type electrolyte. And if we take MgSO4, it is seems to be 2:2 type electrolyte. You see, that is how it also depends upon the charges present on the cations and anions of the electrolyte. You see, that is A. That is, it is a constant for a given solvent. It also depends upon the type of electrolyte we are going to take for dilution and the charges present in the cations and anions in the electrolyte. So that is nothing but your the constant A. So this is how we can explain the molar conductivity, limiting molar conductivity, and the difference, that is relationship between lambda molar conductivity, limiting molar conductivity, and the concentration of the electrolyte. That is lambda is equal to lambda naught minus A into root c, or lambda is equal to lambda naught minus A into c to the power of half. Whatever you take. Okay. So this is one topic about the variation of conductivity with respect to dilution. You see, that is specific conductivity variation of specific conductivity with the dilution. So that means it will decreases both for weak and strong electrolyte, and then variation of molar conductivity with the dilution, it will increases both for weak and strong electrolyte. And then limiting molar conductivity, it is the molar conductivity at infinite dilution is from the limiting molar conductivity, and the difference, sorry, relationship between molar conductivity, limiting molar conductivity, and concentration is lambda m is equal to lambda naught m minus A into root c, where A is called as the constant for a given solvent, and also type of the electrolyte we are going to take, whether it contains the number of charges present on the cation and anion of the electrolyte, whether it is 1 type or 2 type or 1 type, like that. Okay. So we will continue the next time. So okay, let us continue the graph of that is lambda against root c. You see, so if I take in this graph, you see, that is lambda m is equal to lambda naught m minus A into root c. So let us take the graph of this is lambda m in Siemens centimeter square per mole, and this is a root c concentration. You see, that is 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, 0.4. like this, you see. And if you take this is 100, this is 200, 300, like this. Okay, this is the lambda, this is what root c. For generally for strong electrolytes, if you take strong electrolytes, you see, we have that is a straight line, like this. A straight line is obtained. Like this, you see, a straight line is obtained. for a strong electrolyte. And if you, that is extra plotting the curve, that is straight line to the concentration, you will be getting the lambda naught is lambda naught. For strong electrolyte, this is for strong electrolyte, strong electrolyte. But for weak electrolytes, if you write, so it seems to be a curve you see. This is for weak electrolyte. Weak electrolyte, like acetic acid, let us say CH3COH, acetic acid. So, for example, this is for NaCl, that is strong electrolyte. For strong electrolyte, if you put a graph, if you write a graph by taking lambda m against root c, so you will be getting a straight line for strong electrolyte. And if you external plotting the straight line to the zero concentration, you will be getting lambda naught on VLC, lambda value. Now but you see, if you write this graph for weak electrolyte, you will be getting a curve, you see, curve like this. So therefore, the straight line is not obtained for weak electrolyte. Even therefore, you see, it is not possible to extra plotting the curve to get the zero concentration, you see. So to the zero concentration. So for this reason, so it is not possible to calculate lambda naught m for weak electrolytes by graphical method. But it is possible to calculate the lambda naught m for the strong electrolytes because you are going to get a straight line. When straight line is extra plotting, you will be getting lambda. So this is how you can plot. That is a lambda m against root c for weak electrolytes like this. This is a strong electrolyte. Okay.